Okay, folks, welcome back. Um, we were in the middle of chatting with this sleeping old man, and I think we were in the middle of the dialogue tree with him, so I think it was Monsters in the Guild Hall, something like that. I already asked about this. We were talking about the monsters. I think we got through all of these. So tell me more about the bulletin board. I think Conrad is interested in the jobs more than anything, right? Over on the wall over there is where the jobs are posted for adventurers. Some have been there a long time now. There just aren't too many good adventurers around here lately. That's where we come in. I don't say that. I don't think Conrad says that out loud, but he's definitely thinking it. And rewards. So this is an interesting role-playing moment, I would say. Like, I think Conrad is motivated more by rewards and glory, right? That's the name of the game, Quest for Glory. He wants to make a name for himself more than anything. I know the choices that I can make in Quest for Glory 5. I know where this all leads. I think. I'm pretty sure I remember what I can do at the end of that game. I don't want to metagame too much, but I want him to have a true heroic journey, which means he may be more motivated at the beginning by greed or by reputation or prestige. He might be after recognition for his deeds and his feats. But there's a lot of games. And I think in the first one, that's what he's going to be motivated by. But I think I want him to be humbled. So I'm looking forward to that. I need him to like barely escape with his life from a monster, from a combat or something like that. So just to say, that's a long-winded to say that of course Conrad is going to ask about the reward. Oh, you need to talk to either the Baron or the healer about that. And that was actually already on our radar. Is going to talk to those two. So anyway, just a bit of backstory. Healer. Her house is just north of the town gate. She's a nice woman. Okay, good. So north and northeast, right? There's a lot out there. Let me get my journal out here. Castle to the north, garden to the north. I'm just going to add that the healer, now that we know that the healer is actually to the north. What did he say? Yeah, just north of the town gate. Okay. We will definitely do that because she just wants a ring back. Seems like an easy job. Okay, so that is noted down. Castle. I think we already know where this is, but the castle's just north of the healer's house. Okay, cool. Trophies. Tell me more about these heads on the wall. Schultz and I killed most of the monsters on those walls, except for the two guys of Andromeda who killed the Antwerp, and Hans Halfwitten. Oh wait, I can't talk to that. Oh, okay, cool. We're actually going to get some backstory about these now. One day, years ago, a pair of dragons tried to take over our valley. We adventurers rode out to meet them. I can still see Stefan von Spielburg charging forward on his black horse. He slew that dragon whose head you see on the wall, and the other one flew off. I hear people see that other dragon flying high overhead sometimes, but it has never dared to attack us again. They probably killed, like, some sibling of these. Those dragons were probably siblings, or maybe they were mates. We'll never know. This valley was overrun by those odd monsters one year. Schultz and I fought long and hard to rid the valley of the things. We might have failed even so, had it not been for those two peculiar tourists who came to our aid. And these are the developers of Space Quest, I assume. They said they were from someplace called Andromeda. Must be someplace south of here, I guess. They certainly were odd. Okay, I need to turn him around. He's just staring off at the wall as he talks to him. Okay, moose. That was the most vicious moose I ever saw. Nearly bit my nose off. Okay, just a moose, I guess. I remember the day I killed one. It was the biggest I had ever seen. It put up a tough fight, but I was tougher. You can see the results on the wall. These are very good stories, to be honest. I was expecting more, but I guess he's old. Watch out for cheatars. I bear the scars. Bear? That's a typo. I bear the scars of my fight with the one on the wall to this day. Still, it is stuffed, and I am still alive. Yeah, the cheatar out of all of these things, it seems to be the scariest. Like, dragon, at least it's a known quantity, but yeah, something about the cheatar is a bit I don't know, a bit creepy, right? Like, it only exists in this game, so I think that's probably why I'm disturbed. And the Saurus, that's the last monster. I remember when Hans killed the one there. It was a tough fight for him. I want to meet this guy, yeah, Hans Halfwitten. He wasn't much of an adventurer, but he did manage to kill a Saurus before he made the mistake of tangling with a troll. Alright, well, rest in peace. Okay, after that entire conversation, who are you, sir? I am Wolfgang Abentur, the guildmaster of this hall, so, as expected. I am supposed to keep track of all the adventurers and make sure they sign their names in the log. There was a time when I would go out and rescue foolhardy adventurers who got into too much trouble, but I don't get out much now. Yeah. What do you know about this curse? Anything about that? Yeah, with the Baron losing his son and daughter, Baba Yaga, all the monsters, and now the brigands, it has just been one thing after another. Okay, lots to talk about here. The Baron von Spielburg was once a brave protector of our valley. We used to adventure together when I was younger. No brigand or monster would dare show his face here if the Baron had not angered Baba Yaga. Now it is said he goes nowhere and sees no one. So he's depressed. So I assume that the Baron is Stefan, the guy who slew the dragon. I think that's what that is. I'm feigning ignorance here, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. That's his name. All right, here's the son. Now, there was a hero and worthy of the name Bernard von Spielburg. He rode off to hunt one morning 5 years ago, and his horse returned with large claw marks on it. No sign Bernard's body was ever found. Okay, so he's been missing for 5 years, and that's why that notice for finding him has gathered dust on the bulletin board. Baron's daughter. Elsa was a beautiful 8-year-old child with blonde hair and sky blue eyes. She was her father, the Baron's joy. 10 years ago, she was carried off by something which flew over the wall and away with her. The search for her lasted many years, but at last everyone gave up, except the Baron's jester, Yorick. Yorick. This is a new person we haven't heard about yet. Yorick was a funny little man, but brave. He swore he would spend his life searching for the Baron's Elsa. Okay, I'm gonna just write down his name too. He's you know, we don't have a reward for him, but it's another guy who's missing, right? Like if we find Yorick, maybe we find Elsa. I'm just gonna write Yorick and then write the name Elsa. So Elsa would be 18 at this point, because that was 10 years ago. If she's still alive. I don't think we know how old Bernard would be. It didn't give his age. Baba Yaga, so she's the one who cursed this entire valley. She's behind all of this. She is the center of our problems, I think. Baba Yaga is a powerful ogre. Baron von Spielburg tried to force her to leave this valley, but she cursed him. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but I think it's really funny that they capitalize certain things in this game. I think I did mention this, but just as a key term for the quiz at the end. Oh, okay. Now the Baron has lost everything but his land, and I don't know how long he will keep that. What our valley needs is a hero. Yeah. That's us. Tell us more about that and how to become one. A real hero is someone who didn't start out strong or powerful, but uses his courage and brains and skills to become the best he can be. That's the dream. That's my ambition, says Conrad, swelling his chest out a little bit. Again, he's just thinking this. I don't think he's talking out loud. He knows he's smart enough to keep his mouth shut. Okay, the brigands. Do we know where they are in the mountains? There is a reward for anyone who can stop the brigands by capturing or killing the leaders of the brigands. You should read the bulletin board for more information. Well, I already did that. Okay, so that's what we did there. Tell us more about Spielburg. Spielburg town is small now that most people have been driven off by the brigands. This is such a pretty place too, with the mountains, forests, and waterfalls. The mountains surrounding this valley are very high. Snow covers the tops all year long. The only way out of Spielburg Valley is through the pass, though I hear that it is blocked by snow again. I was laughing just because the way that he said this, he split this into topics that are neatly packed into these rectangles for me to click on. I just find that funny. I know this is an adaptation of a text-based game, so it would make sense for me to fixate on these if I were playing the EGA version, which I'm not. The EGA version, I know that for purists, that is the way to play the first game. I know people like that one maybe more, but yeah, I grew up on... I played these games in a weird order, like I said. King's Quest VII was my first... actually, I think my first point-and-click adventure game was actually Pepper's Adventures in time, so that was a Sierra game. Really weird one. I think I started a playthrough of that one and never finished it, but that was like my first point and click, and then I played King's Quest VII. Then I got all of the King's Quest games, played through those. Also Torrens Passage I got around the same time, along with Sierra's Schoolhouse, which had a lot of games inside of it, like Spelling Blizzard and I think EcoQuest. Eventually I got Quest for Glory. Quest for Glory 5 came later than King's Quest. And after I got Quest for Glory 5, I got these 4. So I played these in a really strange order. But because of that, all that to say, I'm more at home with the VGA version of games because I just didn't grow up with the text stuff. I had them, but I didn't like them as much as the dumbed down version. So okay, back to this. Forests, tell me about those. The forests are full of monsters and strange creatures. There are some nice waterfalls to the southeast of town. They fill Mirror Lake, which is lovely, but icy cold all year round. Okay, waterfalls to the southeast. Gonna just write that down. Mirror Lake to southeast. Okay. Sorry, I'm being very thorough, but I assume we'll get through the guild in this session. Alright, and then tell us more about the town. This town used to be a thriving city before the brigands drove most of the people off. Oh, wow. I don't know much about magic, but the woman who runs that place scares me. You and me both, buddy. She freaks me out. Caspar at the store would like to be an adventurer, or so he says. He spends too much time dreaming and not enough doing, I think. Okay, so there's a general store. Or, yeah. Tavern? I have never liked that place. The bartender smiles all the time, but he is not very friendly. Crusher lives up to his name. He is nasty, even for a goon. A goon is a lot like an ogre, not as tough, but a little smarter. The sheriff's Otto and Crusher at the tavern are both goons. Okay. We will probably make a pit stop at the tavern at some point, just to have a drink, see what's going on there. The bakery. I think the bakery is almost always closed now. The baker tries to stay away from his wife. Yikes. Butcher. I don't think the butcher shop is open much anymore either. And the farmer's mart. The farmer's mart is run by the Centaurs, Heinrich Ferdifadern. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ferdifadern. And his daughter, Hildy. What a name. There are not too many centaurs in this land. Heinrich and Hildy are good people. Yeah, it's just a wacky game. Like, why are there centaurs living in this town? It's like mainly humans except for Centaurs, I guess. We don't know yet about the hero's tail end either. Okay, lastly, Schultz Meisterson. Schultz Meisterson and I have been friends for a long time. He too was once a real adventurer. Now he is just the sheriff of this town. I like Otto, even if he is a goon. Schultz has him almost trained. Very good. All right. So I think that's all we can do in here. I clicked on everything when I first came in. So yeah, thank you for your time, Wolfgang. I guess we will be back. I actually don't know if we will be back. We got all the leads we needed. We saw the sights, witnessed the trophies, signed our name. Peace. Oh, the old lady is gone. I'll just check the time here. Right. Sunset approaches. She's probably gone inside to actually sleep. So we spent most of our day just seeing the sights. I don't know if anyone else... Oh yeah, they're gone too. So I think people are probably going inside now. I kind of wish, like, it makes sense. It's an older game, but like, I wish that actually... Actually, I think the screen does get slowly darker. But I have no way of telling that it's sunset other than... Oh, okay, here we go. So she's still selling apples. You can smell apples as you approach this corner. Good day, and welcome to Spielburg. Would you like to buy some of my nice fresh fruits or vegetables? Maybe. Let me just check how much money I have. 4 gold pieces and 10 silver pieces. So, the way we're going to also play Conrad, just to clear things up, is he's a bit young, he's a bit inexperienced, but he's also probably a bit of a... He's not a ladies' man, but maybe he fancies himself to be a ladies' man. So I think he's like... He's interested, he's curious, even if she is a centaur. So you see a charming young centaur with the upper torso of it. Oh, she's a teenager. Well, okay. Well, let's move on then, Conrad. And the body of a filly. Let's maybe buy some fruits and vegetables. What's your name? I'm Hildy, daughter of Heinrich Ferdinand the farmer. So we don't know where her father actually is, but I assume out of town then. My father is a fine farmer. And the father... My father is Heinrich Ferdinand. You're a woman of few words. Farm. We have some land to the north of town. It isn't very big, but we grow many things. You should be here during harvest time. Then you would see many fruits and vegetables. Do you have a mother? My mother has been dead for 3 years now. I still miss her. Do you want to go on a date? I don't actually think we should ask that now that we know that she's a teenager. Will we do it? It's there. No, we won't. Market? We're honorable. I think we're going to try and resist this playthrough. This is where I sell things from my father's farm. Yes. I think we saw all of these. Vegetables. We have many kinds of fresh vegetables for sale today. There are carrots, rutabagas, parsnips, and potatoes right from the ground at 5 for a silver. They're very good for you. We also have some apples. These are all the things that are actually good for you and your health and your nutrition. And then we have some apples. They're also more expensive, probably. There are still some apples left from last season in the barrel. You may buy 10 for a silver, since they are so small. 10 for a silver, that's pretty good. We got 10 silver pieces, so we could buy loads of apples. Carrots are my favorite vegetable. They are so crisp and sweet. Because you're half horse. And they like carrots. I assume that's why you like those. Rutabagas keep well over the winter months. Parsnips. Parsnips can be made into a tasty pie. I've never had that. Have you ever had a parsnip pie? What have I had? A cherry pie, apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, peach pie maybe, or like a peach cobbler. But I don't know about parsnip pie. Turnip. Turnips are good if you cook them in stews, but not pies. Brigands, they have twice robbed my father of his money, and they have tried to steal our food during this winter. That is because we farm outside of town. The brigands would not dare try that in town. The sheriff would stop them fast. Man, got robbed. Many robbers ran up to father as he trotted back to town. My father tried to fight, but they hurt him badly. They then ran away to the southwest. Wow, okay, actually, this is... I didn't expect this, but we actually got a lead here. The brigands are to the southwest. That's more than we've known, actually. North is the castle and the healer. Northeast is where Erasmus is. Southeast is Mirror Lake and some waterfalls, but southwest is Brigand. So yeah, we're starting to maybe develop a sense of place, like what is maybe around this town. Um, cool. Okay. Our sheriff is very brave. He told me so himself. Nice. Okay. Well, I am kind of interested in buying food, but we also have rations. We have 4 food rations. I don't remember if we actually started with 4. I'm just going to... One second. I want to see if we started with 4. I thought I started with 5. I'm going to call this the food mart, or veggies. And then I'm just going to restore this and take a peek. Aha! That's what I thought. So Conrad automatically ate a food ration when we weren't looking. Just in this single day. So that actually makes me want to buy some food. Can I do that? Right. Okay, so I can buy apples or vegetables, each for a silver. Um, yeah, and I kind of want to do that because I don't want to run out of food. Uh, how much time passed? Like from midday to sunset, and I ate a single ration. I only have 4 rations left. So I don't think that that will even last us. That'll last like a day or two, like 2 days, right? So I am going to buy some apples. You carefully select 10 of the best apples from the barrel and pay Hildy a silver piece. Okay? And then I'm also going to buy some vegetables. You pick out the freshest looking vegetables you can find and pay the lady a silver piece. All right. Cool. I don't think I've ever bought the vegetables in this game, but now we have them. So that's good. Um, cool. Let's just look a little bit more here. The scales are used to weigh the vegetables. The barrels look too heavy to move. There are a variety of vegetables for sale, and the shopkeeper is a centaur. Okay. It is but a small stall, used for the daily sale of whatever local produce has not been confiscated by the brigands. That was a very posh description. All right, dry goods. It is a simple but prosperous looking general store. It looks like it might provide some staples that would prove useful to a traveler, such as if an adventuring party asks you to join them. You see a dry goods store through the window. All right. Looks like it's still open. That's interesting. Good. This looks like a dry goods store, but it smells like a musty library. The stove feels nice on such a crisp day. Behind the counter and on the shelves, there are a variety of items for sale. The shopkeeper appears to ignore you while he reads a book. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you coming in. My, you look like an adventurer. We don't see too many around here. The brigands tend to get rid of most adventurers before they make it to town. I do try to stock some things adventurers can use. I actually would rather be an adventurer than a shopkeeper, you see. My items are pretty ordinary, though. You probably already have most of them if you've done any adventuring at all. Alright, well this guy's a bit excited. I'm just going to save it here. General Star. Let's take a look around first. Behind the counter are weapons, armor, and such equipment as you would more often find in an adventurer's shop. On the counter and on the shelves are assortments of canned goods, honey jars, sewing items, and odds and ends that people in a small town would need. What are these? Those look like oversized shields suitable for ogres, goons, and frost giants. It's the first we heard of that. You see bottles, jugs, and canned goods more useful to a housewife than a hero. Okay. There are barrels of flour and salt next to the counter. There also seem to be jars of pickled pig's feet, linen cloth, and lots of other things in which you have very little interest. Okay, it's not specific to the shelf. I think that's all. The jars of beets and sauerkraut look like they were canned locally. That's probably pretty fresh. Fresh and tasty. Sauerkraut pie. Look, another grill for a possible. The stove is burning merrily away, making the shop seem almost too warm. Through the open window, you can see that night has fallen. That does not appear to be night to me, but there are some wooden poles leaning against the wall. It looks like a standard broadsword behind that counter. Definitely want that, actually. None of the clothes look like they fit. It's the Matador's red cape, recently repaired after he waved it in front of a minotaur. The proprietor's teapot. The barrels appear to be filled with flour and salt and look rather heavy. All right, so not much more here. So let's see. Try paying the clerk for what you want to buy. And that's probably going to apply to everything here. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't want nothing specific here. Okay, I'll just look at the shopkeeper here. The shopkeeper is a small, balding man who wears glasses. He looks as if he can barely lift the book he is reading. Judging from his clothes, he is fairly well to do. All right. Who are you? Why, that's me, Caspar. I always wanted to be an adventurer. I read about them all the time. Another typo. The book I was just reading is about adventuring. What's the book? I don't know if Conrad is actually. Well, he's not reading a book right now. Let's just say that. Maybe he's read books in his life, but under duress. Oh, this book, it's about an adventurer who is trying to become a hero. The title is Quest for Glory, A Hero's Death. I forgot about that. Well, sounds like a pretty bad book. Equipment. Unfortunately, I have only standard weapons and equipment. I carry daggers and chain armor. Maybe someday I'll be able to carry magic ones, though. Alright, tell me about the dagger. I don't actually have a dagger. Ah, the use of the dagger is a most skillful art. Actually, this particular weapon is longer than most, but still easily concealable. A bargain at 20 silvers. I don't actually know why I would need one if I have a sword already. A dagger's for thieves and rogues, right? Not for heroes. Chain armor. I'm interested in that though. You can get really good protection from my chainmail armor. It's very heavy though, and I would have to charge you 500 silvers for it. Holy crap. I don't actually know if I have. I don't even know what the exchange rate is here. 500 silver? How much is that in terms of gold? Food. Adventuring rations aren't the tastiest food in the world, but they will keep you healthy and alert as you go along. A pack of 10 rations will cost you just 5 silvers. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if he's selling rations, I kind of feel like I should buy those from now on. Five silvers for. Okay. I probably will just get a pack now while I'm here. It's a very good idea to carry an empty flask or two in case you want to pick up a liquid or something else that needs a container. Our flasks are a great bargain at 2 silvers each. Okay, I'll probably pick up a couple of those. Let's take a look here. So I am pretty sure I cannot buy this. Yeah, it's not even letting me click on that. Okay, I don't want the dagger. I will get some food. Wait. Oh, wait, maybe I can. Okay, no, I can't. As you count your money, You realize that you don't have enough to purchase this particular item, so 500 silvers is over my budget. I wonder if that is like 50 gold pieces. I think it is. I don't remember now. Okay, so I'll buy some food. Here you are. Thank you for your patronage. And then I'm going to buy. He recommended a couple of flasks, so I do think I'll get a couple of those. That's kind of cheap enough, just in case. And they're very light. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm carrying 50 pounds, and I can carry up to 57 pounds of equipment. So we're still well within our carrying capacity. Okay, so that is actually time for today. So next time we'll just finish up talking to him. The night is still young, so we'll finish talking to him. I'll just save over general store after buying those things. Yeah, we'll finish talking to Caspar and then explore the rest of the town. I don't know if anything else will be open for the day. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.